right, take these, move them over. Okay. Once again, so now I think this is the first cup and the second cup, 1 and 2, right? That's what we're down to. Again, just think of which one it is, just concentrate on it. All right, again, keep that number just going over and over. All right. Shake it off. That's it. 1. Cup number 2. Get that out of there.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was scared for you.
Now, just out of curiosity, I mean, everything was free, right? Everything's free choice. You might be asking yourself now, you know, why would I put myself through that sort of, you know, dangerous routine when I could put, you know, anything under there, an egg, something like that.
Right.
But what if there was some way that I could have known prior to the effect that after all the mixing, the nail would end up in that second position? Do you think there's any way that I could have known that? No. All right, check this out. In the very beginning, I put this on the table, yeah? If we take this, what I want you to do is just grab onto the edge here. See, prior to performing, I wrote something down in here. If we open it up. You will choose cup number 2, right?
Wow.
Nice. Okay, so Instinct is one of the first effects that I ever released, and now what you're going to be getting is the original version plus a few different handling tips that I've come up with since then. So to walk you through the original way to work this is you're going to take just a stack of styrofoam cups. You can get these pretty much anywhere for, you know, a couple bucks, and it'll last you probably about 6 or 7 performances depending on how many cups you use. But for the very beginning, you're gonna have to set up your nail little base piece. And to do that, you're gonna take a cup and you're just going to cut off the lip of it so that you're left with a cup that looks like this, all right? Then you're gonna need to get yourself a piece of cardboard, as long as the cup can go on it and not hang off the edges, then you're good. Right? So this goes down. You're going to take a Sharpie marker and you're going to trace around the cup. So that you're left with this. Then all you have to do is just take some scissors and cut it out so that you have just a small cardboard disc. Next, you're going to get a nail. Larger the better. The largest one that you can fit into the cup is usually the way that you want to go. But you have this one, and you will just shove it through the center of the cup. At this point, I would usually glue it in. This way there's no chance of it falling out and maybe them having, you know, switching it or doing something weird with it. So glue it in there just for extra safety, all right? And that's your nail gimmick constructed so that now when you take it and put it into a cup, it'll actually get stuck inside of it, right? And that's where the safety of this effect comes into place. And I can't stress this enough that you have to definitely get this perfect and test it out, shove it inside, and make sure that it gets stuck and it can't be removed. Because if it's removed, then things will get a little bit, you know, difficult for you, and you could end up hurting yourself pretty badly. But if you stick with the way that the method works, then you'll be safe. I've been doing this routine for years and years, and I've never had any problems with it. So once that's in there, it'll get shuffled around, and you'll be able to keep track of it using the method to Instinct. So now that you've constructed your nail base part, I'm going to walk you through the actual routine and how to perform this effect safely. The way that this works is based on just a quirk that's built into the cups already. Most people, when you do this effect, will think that you're nail marking the cup or something like that, but it's not the method. That's not how this works. How this works is each cup essentially has its own sort of serial number, if you will. If you look at this cup here, you can see that there is a little number on it. On this cup, it is 053, and you can just see that, you know, right along there, 053. On another cup, On this one, you can see that it's 217. And again, just on every single cup, it'll be a different one. On some of them, the numbers will be the same. And in that circumstance, you always just have to check them before performing and just make sure that the numbers are different, because there could be another 217 in this, package somewhere. So again, you want to just make sure to check, make sure that all the numbers are different so that you don't accidentally, have 2 cups with the same one and end up hurting yourself. If by some chance that does happen and you do get 2, I'd just stop the effect, don't perform it, and just say, all right, I'm actually not feeling comfortable with this anymore. And if anything, it could actually feel a little bit more, dramatic and realistic for the spectator if you just, stop the performance. And then you could maybe try it again a little bit later if you wanted to, if you're feeling, more comfortable or whatever you want. And during that case, you would just remove one of the cups, the extra cup, and then go into the routine again. All right. But for now, you have your 4 cups. We'll assume that you've checked them all. You know for certain they're all different. And now we'll go into the actual routine, all right? So what you're gonna do is you'll have the 4 cups on the table, just like this, all right? Each one of the cups has a different number, and you'll put the nail down. You're gonna explain, you can go into any sort of pattern that you want, talking about Russian roulette, how it started, whatever you wanna do. And then you'll have the person point to a cup, all right? So let's say they point to this one. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pick up the cup that they point to and you're gonna read the number on it, right? You don't wanna do that, obviously. So as you're looking at it, pick up the nail, turn it over, and then put it in, all right? So on this one, I have the 53 cup. So the nail goes in just like this. You're gonna push it in, and once again, make sure that it is stuck in there, all right? And that it can't come out. Okay, so once it's in this position and it's stuck and you know that it is, then you can move on. Put the cup down and just have them all mixed up. So here we go into the mixing procedure, yada yada. They're all mixed, and this is happening, the spectator is doing this while your back is turned, then you turn back around. When you're doing this, you should make sure that you have a good amount of space between the cups, just because when you bring your hand down, sometimes if the cups are close together, the air that's pushed out of one will blow one of the cups to the side, and that can be sort of weird for a spectator watching. Maybe they'll think, that's how you're doing it. So be sure to tell them, if they are close together, just tell them to move them apart a little bit. And once they're moved apart and everything's set, now you're gonna go into the slamming part of it, all right? Usually I'll put my hand above each one, and as my hand is above it, I'll just look at the different numbers and find 53, which obviously is here. So hand above, hand above, hand above, hand above, 53. Now you're just gonna go into, usually I'll hold the spectator's hand and do sort of a mock muscle reading routine, and I'll hold my hand above it, slam my hand down on this one, throw it off to the side. I'll usually have them separate them again a little bit further. This way, once again, there's no way that any air could make anything shoot around, all right? Once again, put your hand above each one, move their hand along with you. And if the cups, or if the nail is here, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna remove the cup furthest away so that you have cups that are relatively close together for the ending. All right, so here I would come here, slam my hand down on this one, and that one would get tossed off to the side as well. Now you're left with 2. Have them reposition it for you. Now you put your hand above the one with the nail, above the one without, and just sort of build this moment, just sort of milk this moment, because now you've had, 1 in 4 chance, a 1 in 3 chance. Now you just have a 50-50 chance. And you can, say that, build it up, and then at the end, put your hand above the nail cup, bring it up, and then slam your hand down on the other cup. All right? And that always gets a good reaction. You could obviously choose not to do that, and you can just start here and just quickly go for it. Slam it down, get that nice loud pop. It's always good for getting a reaction out of people, usually make them jump. And then from there, rip off the top of this one, destroying the evidence, and then just reach in, break it, pop out the nail. Everything can be checked, examined, and they won't find anything. So on the original Instinct DVD, I introduced bringing out a roll of paper towels, which was something that I hadn't seen anybody do before. And I bring them out saying, just in case something should happen, we'll have these on hand. And it's just sort of a dramatic element that's built into the routine, sort of like Houdini's water torture cell, and how he had these big guys on stage with axes just suggest that should something go wrong, they can break them out. And this is, again, just sort of that similar idea in that as long as you're playing it seriously and saying, just in case we need these, I'll keep these out in the open for us. And the audience will take it seriously, and it'll just add, again, to just the dramatic nature of the effect. But what I added to this, which wasn't on the original DVD, which is what I came up with a little bit later, was having a prediction be inside of this roll, which turns out to say you will put the nail in the cup number 2, right? And what happens with this is rolled up, and you force this outcome to happen. Right? So this is rolled up just like so, and you want to make sure that you write the prediction a few sheets in. This way you can cover it, because the writing will bleed through if you use a marker, and you want to be able to hide that, okay? So that goes down there. Nobody knows the prediction is in there yet. We'll just put this off to the side for now, all right? Now you go into the normal presentation of the effect. The cups go down. You have them touch anyone that they want, all right? So this cup, just say they pick this cup. It goes in, and once again, you'll just memorize the number, which in this case is 23, all right? So the cups goes down, you turn away, and they mix the cups up, all right? And the way that this works is the way that you count the cups will make your prediction happen, right? So first, we'll handle it if they put it in these 2 positions, okay? So right now the nail is here, all right? Once again, you would definitely want to glue that in, but the nail's here, so I would just count 1, 2, 3, 4. If they had shuffled them up and I turned around and I see that the 23 is in this position, then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and just say from here on out, these cups will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And once again, you have, your cup in that position. Just tell them to remember the number that it's in, and you'll have them just repeat that number over and over, and you'll go with that sort of presentation. If the cups are on the edge, if it's on this side, or if it's on this side, obviously there's no way that you can count and make it into a second position. So what you'll do instead is once you turn back around and you see that the 23 is over here or over here, you'll just say, all right, now that I don't know which one it's under, I want you to just mix them up a little bit more, and I'm just going to watch you as you mix them. And so you'll just keep track this time of the 23 and see where it's going. Once you see it's in this position and they grab 2 that aren't this cup and they mix it around, then you'll just tell them to stop. All right? So you just be like, all right, that's fine, you can stop there. And as long as this cup is in, the second position, or it's in this position, you can once again make it into 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and get this prediction to happen, all right? So here we are, we're in this position. You go through the slamming, hit, until these cups are gone, you're left with this one, all right? Now you're gonna rip the top off. Again, once again, destroying the evidence here, and you're gonna push it out. So let's just get that out, all right? This is off to the side. Now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna say, you're just gonna follow the presentation that I did earlier. And you're just gonna say, to perform this effect, it's very risky to do this. And so usually I like to take the risk out of it. And most people, for some reason, unknown to me, will always put the cup in this same position, which would be, in this case, cup number 2. And then, usually they won't believe you, yada, yada, and just be like, no, really, I have proof. And then you would open this up, show the prediction this way, and end on that. And it's a nice, cool finish. You have the dramatic moment, but then you also, have them know, oh, all right, he wasn't in danger, yada, yada. Some people might think that takes away from the effect. I think that, it makes it stronger. It's just, you're getting the effect, but then you're just getting a bonus on top of it. So that's that. That's Instinct 2.0, the second version. Hope you guys like it. All right, do you know what psychokinesis is?
Really?
Pretty much it's the ability to move something with your mind, right?
Yeah.
Now what I want you to do is before we start, I want you to just check my hands and wrists, make sure there's nothing on it, no threads, anything, no magnets, nothing. Right? Good. All right. Let's try this. Take out $1. What you do is just check it, make sure that it's normal. Good, yeah. All right. And just fold it in half, hot dog style. And just place it on top of this.
Like on its side or?
Yeah, that's all right. Gosh. You see it moving a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
So you can get it to go a little bit more. Good.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, let's try this. We'll try something a little bit more difficult now. Oops, sorry about that. Just check the pencil, make sure that it's normal, nothing weird there, right?
Yep.
Put it on top as well. Good. Let's just get it so that it's there. Here we go. One more try. One more thing. So you can check everything. Preservation is probably the one trick that I do that will, for the most part, fool most magicians. The reason for this is, in the very beginning of the effect, you can have your hands, your wrist, everything examined, and they won't find any loops or threads or magnets or anything like that. But in actuality, you are actually using a loop in this effect to get the movement to happen. The reason why they can check your hands and wrists and everything is because the loop isn't introduced until later in the routine when you actually pull out your wallet to get the $1 bill out. What's really happening is the loop is going around your wallet just like this, all right? And the reason why I started doing this was originally because when I had the loops around my wrist, I would walk up and snag it on things and it would just break more than I wanted it to. So I found that by putting it around the wallet and putting it in my pocket, it stayed safe for a while until I actually needed it. So you have the loop around the wallet in this position. What you're gonna do is, in the very beginning, you'll have everything checked, you'll have your hands, wrists checked, everything will be clean. Then you're gonna reach into your pocket, take out the wallet, and as you open it, the loop is just gonna stretch across just like this, and it'll lay flat against the black wallet, all right? You reach in, take out a $1 bill, you hand it to someone and tell them to just examine it, make sure it's regular, and then you're gonna have them fold it in half, hot dog style. All the while they're doing this, you're gonna be holding onto the wallet, and all you're gonna do is just get it into just this V position. You're gonna take your right hand or left hand, depending on which hand you are. You're gonna slide it underneath the loop, and then just pull it right off. Close the wallet, put it onto the table. And now you'll have a loop right in this perfect position to actually do the sort of psychokinesis part of this effect. So you'll need a bottle or something to rest the bill and later the pencil on. You can use a bottle, you can use a glass. If you're, absolutely have nothing on you, you can use the side of a table and make things move around. But for now, we'll just use the vitamin water bottle. And now from here on out, it's just normal sort of loops, effects. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your middle finger, it'll go underneath the loop, you'll stretch it out, make sort of rubbing, static gesture, whatever you want. Bring it close and just let the thread contact the dollar bill until it moves a little bit. Let it go, and then just once again have them examine the dollar bill, make sure it's normal. And now this is where the routine goes into something that I haven't really seen most loops routines do, which is, with most loop effects, it's usually just one trick and then it's done. They'll move one thing and then it'll be finished. What I wanted to do was more of like a building routine. So we start off with something simple, then we say, you know what, let's try something a little more difficult. And then you'll take either, if there's a spoon on the table, I'll put that on top. If not, then either a pen, marker, pencil, whatever you want, put that down. Something that's just a little bit heavier and will be a little more impressive when it moves around. And once again, you'll have that checked prior. But once again, you'll put your finger underneath and go into a standard just loops routine of making it move around, just getting it close to it. And usually I like to end with the pencil in this sort of position so that at the very end, for like the big climactic moment, you'll bring your hands here and make the pencil just sort of rise upwards a little bit by just taking the first strand of thread and contacting with the end, and then just let it flip all the way off. And that's basically the whole entire effect. It's just introducing the wallet in the very beginning, taking it off, getting your hand inside, and then just going into a standard loops routine. So hopefully you guys will get as much use out of that as I have, and hopefully your loops will last longer. You don't have to keep buying them over and over again. All right, in this box, I have a prediction of what I think is going to happen in a little bit.
Okay.
Right, first, I want you to just check. I mean, obviously there's nothing on it. It's good, regular. That's right. I want you to take the deck and just give it a mix. Okay? All right. Take this and I'm just going to spread the cards out. All right. Now what I want you to do is you're going to take your finger and just put it, start it back. You're going to move it along, and whenever you want, just stop. All right. Good? All right, which card is that? Is that one or that one? All right. Move all these, and we'll square all these up together. Good. Now I want you to just take a look at all the cards that you could have picked. You could have picked all these cards. They're all different, randomly shuffled by you, right? And we'll get rid of the box. If you want to just hold on to it. We'll put the card that you stopped on off over here. Take a look at the other cards you could have chosen. Again, they're all different, all shuffled random, right? So this is the card that you stopped on. Random, free choice, the 4 of hearts. Now in that box, I told you there's a prediction. If you want to just open the box up and take out the little piece of the card and open it up. What it says.
4 parts, no way.
For point and predict, all you're gonna need is a deck of cards, the box that it came in, and you're gonna have to make a prediction on an index card. I always use the 4 of hearts, but you can obviously use whatever card you want to. So this gets folded up. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a marker or a pencil, anything that you want, and you're gonna run it along the edges of the prediction, all right? Just like this. Just make sure that it's nice and flat. This way it doesn't get stuck inside of the box, all right? And you want to be able to hear this rattling sound inside. So if it's stuck, it won't make that, and you'll just be sort of, saying there's a prediction in there, but you won't be getting any sound. So again, just make sure that you get it nice and flat and just mushed down, all right? So that is that part done. Now you're gonna have to set up the box, all right? When you get a new deck of cards, it's gonna have these flaps on them, all right? And you're gonna tear them off so that you're left with a box that just has no tabs on it. This is just because, again, these will get in the way, all right? So you take this, you're gonna take the prediction, put it in. Next, you're gonna need the 4 of hearts from the deck, and you're gonna put this, actually you should probably put the 4 of hearts in first. All right, so the 4 of hearts goes down into the box, then you take your 4 of hearts prediction or whatever card you're using and put it on top of it. Next, you're gonna take the flap and you're gonna fold it in so that it's on top of the 4 of hearts, okay? This way the 4 of hearts can slide in and out of the box easily, all right? So there that is, this gets pushed in and you're set up to perform the effect, okay? So now what you're gonna do is you'll hand the deck to a spectator and you'll have them shuffle it up, right? While they're shuffling it, you'll say, in this box I have predictions, what I think is gonna happen in a little bit. Put that down. After they're done shuffling, you take the deck from them, you're gonna spread it out in front of them. Now it's important that when you do this, you perform it across from them, because when you do the flick move in a little bit, which is sort of the main part of the method, you'll want them to be able to catch it, okay? So these cards are spread out. You're gonna have them put their finger in front of this card and you're gonna tell them to move it along. While you're doing that, you're gonna have the box in your hands. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your middle finger, and get into this semicircle here, and you'll have a piece of the 4 of hearts sticking out there as well. And you're just gonna push it out and then just sort of hide it underneath your hand, right? So when you're actually doing it, it'll be done down here. The box, your hand will be covering everything around the box, and your middle finger will just come by, push it, and just hold it down with your pinky and keep it in place, all right? So now you're here. They will go along, they'll touch a card. Let's say they touch this one. What you're gonna do is you're gonna, with your middle finger, just move all the cards aside from that one. You're gonna take the box with the 4 of hearts on it, and you're gonna put the 4 right on top of this card, right? So without my hand being there, you would take this and you're just gonna put it down just like that, okay? Square everything together, and it looks like you just have the box on top of the cards. Okay, so we'll do that one more time real quick. Cards are here, spread them out. This is in there, all right? You say, put your finger at the top and just go along. While you're explaining that, you're gonna push the card out with your middle finger and just clip it with your pinky, okay? Once again, everything will be very tight here and hidden so they can't see anything. So once again, they touch, say this one, the rest of the cards are pushed off to the side. You're gonna drop the card on top, or you're just gonna drop the box, the whole thing on top, and square it together, all right? You'll leave that there for a second and say, all right, now let's just look at these cards and see. You could have chosen any one of these and spread them out, so it's randomly shuffled by you, put into this order by you. Now this is when the move's gonna happen. What you're gonna do is you're gonna want to take your middle finger and pin that card down, all right? This is the 4 of hearts that's in the box now. Middle finger goes down, and your first finger is just gonna flick the box away, all right? And it'll take a little while to get sort of just the motion down so you're not flicking it too hard or too soft, but usually it's just a good solid flick and it'll go away, all right? And once again, if you do flip it a little too far, then the spectator can catch it. But you'll just say, hold on to it and you'll flick it off. I'll do that just one more time. Take the card, the 4 of hearts, all right? It'll be sticking out, it'll be on top of here just like that. All you're gonna do is give the box a flick and just say, hold on to the box for me. Flick it off, take this card, put it off to the side and say, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's look at these cards, which you also could have chosen, once again, shuffled randomly by you. But you stopped on this card, and then you'll take it, you'll turn it over, show it to be the 4 of hearts. You'll say, all right, open the box, dump out the prediction. They open it up, they see the 4 of hearts, they react to it, and that's the end of the trick, that's the end of the effect. Let them react to it, and it's all good. What's your name? Steven. Stevens, nice.
Yeah, cool, right?
All right, I'm Matt and
Amy.
All right, nice to meet you guys. Let's see, which one of you, are you good at drawing at all?
Better than me.
Better than you? All right, then we'll use you. I'm not that great of an artist as well. It doesn't matter. It's good. So we're gonna try this. Can I just have you hold on to one of these? Just take this. And you're gonna need to be able to draw, so if you could just put it on the, or hand it to her or something, it'll be fine. All right. All right, so what you're gonna do is, in my pocket, I have an envelope, all right, with a little drawing on it, just something simple. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. What I want you to do is think of something simple that everybody would recognize easily. All right, and just draw it on there, nice, right in the middle. Show it to the camera so they know what it is. Just let me know when you're set.
An object?
Anything really. It could be a yin-yang sign, whatever you want. Are you good? You're all set, yeah? All right, what I want you to do is just hand it face down into my hand so I can't see anything. Good? Yeah. All right, look, we'll put it in here. Just like that, all right? We'll close it up, all right? Now, are you right-handed, left-handed? All right, hold your hand out for me, all right? And just put your other hand on top of it. I'll take that from you. Good? All right, and just think about whatever you drew, all right? Okay, and I'm gonna try and copy you now, all right? So just focus on it in your head, just think about it. All right? All right, and just imagine yourself sort of drawing it in the air right now, all right? First thing is definitely a circle, right? Yeah, it's a circle, right? Good. So we'll draw that. Okay. So I said yin-yang symbol, so you're probably not gonna go for that. You did think about it, yeah, I know, yeah.
Power of influence.
Right. You also saw the, the guy in the hand, so it'll probably maybe think, smiley face or something like that, but probably Again, that might be a little obvious too. I'm gonna go with, all right. Okay, can you hold on to this for a second? All right, I'm gonna take this from you. Open it up. All right, watch. We're gonna turn these over at the same time. Let's take this out of here, all right? Put this away. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice, good deal. Awesome. You guys can hold on to those, you can keep them. Thank you guys.
Yeah, there they are.
Impressive.
Nice, thank you, man. This is Dark Arts. I'm gonna walk you through the construction of the gimmick that it uses. It's fairly simple to do, and once you make it, you can use it over and over again. It works off of a black art principle, and what happens is this whole thing is actually cut out. And so if we were to take Joker and put it in here, you can see actually how it is made and how it works, just like that. And so now how to make this is you're gonna have to get yourself a bunch of number 3 coin envelopes. These can be picked up from pretty much any office supply store. I got these at Staples. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna take one normal one and just outline with a pencil about a box a little bit smaller than a business card, right? Then you're gonna take a Joker or just any sort of playing card that you don't need, just trim off with scissors, just cut off about a 1/4 of an inch, not even really. You're gonna take this and you're gonna load it inside of the envelope. This way that when you cut it out, you're not cutting through 2 layers, all right?